Okay, I am having difficulties with my spine. I just discovered as I was doing a lift with my 45-pound plate above my head and then back down to my chest and then up again. I noticed my heart was giving me some um, feelings like it was skipping a beat, or it was just not on a proper rhythm. And it's like looking back on the history of my spine. I think it has something to do with how my heart is having issues today. Uh, on top of diet too, but I injured my spine at age 17 back in what, like 93, and it was pretty bad. I was trying to tackle the quarterback during a football game, and he was running away, then turned around and came back at me as I was in a mid dive, and my head just slammed straight into his body and snapped my head back and like crushed some part of my upper back, the spine in my upper back, and caused a tingly feeling that lasted for a while. And there was a chiropractor volunteering his time to assess and try to rehabilitate people. He did some kind of like massage therapy for that area in the upper back, and he made the comment that really, well, it's stuck with me for life. He said that's going to be a problem later in life, and he's right. I mean, in my 30s, like I was struggling with just a stiff upper back, as annoying, but it never affected my heart in my 20s, and even in my 30s. It didn't really. I think maybe I'm taking a wild guess here, but I'm thinking this problem may have started um, affecting my heart in my late 30s, and I just there's just several things that just my habits of being hunched over a lot over a computer and in the car have may have exacerbated it. Let me just go back. All right, so that was at 17 that the injury happened, and then it's just a kind of an off and on thing. I didn't really. I could continue to weightlift and not have any noticeable issues. As I got older, though, about age 33, I actually went to a chiropractor, some guy who was charging only $20, and I figured, what the heck, my stomach's giving me problems. So I asked for a stomach stretch that the chiropractors do, and that he has to straighten out the spine before he does that. And so he checked out my upper back and tried to straighten it out, and there was a portion of my upper back, and I wish I knew what it was called, but he just kept pounding away at it, and he couldn't get it to budge. He was like, "That's stuck. I can't get it unstuck." So there was an issue that just fused. That issue fused in some way, and it's uh, just been getting worse. I mean, I kind of feel the stiffness. It affects my heart, especially when I lifted that 45 over my head today. It's happened in the past when I've lifted the 45 over my head, and I'm just, I mean, I'm kind of at a loss to know exactly what to do with this upper back chiropractic issue. It does affect my digestion. It does affect my heart. It's maybe a pinched nerve of some kind. I'm not sure exactly how it looks. I just only have a good idea on how it feels. And when I put too much pressure on it, leaning forward, hunching forward, then it's now starting to affect my heart. And that can only get worse as far as I understand. So I need to reverse that, like stretch out my chest more, exercise my back more to try to like force the tension to the rear, So I'm constantly pulling back, and I'm not in a good habit of doing that because I'm sitting hunched over in my car all the time, and I play on the computer way too much. I get addicted to that. So I'm hunched over the computer, looking down, hunching over, and it's really gotten bad. So I think the average person may not suffer as bad of a heart issue as I do from their upper back, if they didn't get an injury like me. This was a pretty bad injury that is just like maybe calcifying and just growing. Maybe there's something in there that's growing and getting worse. But it's certainly uh, causes me to have to change my habits, uh, and become really more concerned about how I move, how I exercise with uh, with this upper back issue. I can't allow too much of a hunching over. The one hunching over is probably the most common thing people do too, is with everything sitting and standing hunched over, and just in general engagements hunching over. And mine is worse with this injury, this football injury. I have no solution, no proper solution yet that I can really stand behind either.